Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you, and by Burns & Scalo Roofing and Real Estate, dedicated to improving the profitability and sustainability of our clients. Visit our website to learn about the power of two. Our region's business: innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, you don't have to look far to find one of the nation's healthiest commercial real estate markets. It's right here in our region. Plus the high stakes for communities in the state transit funding debate. But first, natural gas drilling at Pittsburgh International Airport. Allegheny County Council recently transferred mineral rights under airport property to the Airport Authority, opening the door to drilling. It's one piece of a bigger plan to realize the full potential of the airport for economic development and get more flights too. Rich Fitzgerald is back with us. He's Chief Executive of Allegheny County. Welcome, good to see you again.
Bill, good to be here, and it's always good when you hear all this good news that's happening in our region.
Yeah, there is, and we're going to hear a little bit later on in the show about some of these real estate numbers, which are unbelievable, and especially in the core, but in the I-79 corridor. The one area that's languished a little bit is our airport area, which is this incredible facility, but has never really been developed out, I think, in the way that people had anticipated it would.
It's languished in that we have obviously lost a lot of flights when we lost the hub about 8 or 9 years ago. But the development is starting to really pick up out there. There's actually 5,000 people who work in the industrial park surrounding the international airport. We own, the public owns, we own 9,000 acres out around the airport.
9,000 acres?
9,000. And we decided to put out an RFP for the drilling companies to see if there would be any interest in drilling that land out there. What we found was really unbelievable. The CONSOL came in, and basically it's going to be about $1 billion deal for the citizens of Allegheny County. They're going to spend over $500 million putting in the infrastructure, putting in the engineers, the pipe fitters, et cetera, and building it out.
So that's the actual activity and capital investment related to bringing the gas to the surface and moving it where it has to go, right?
And then we, the Airport Authority and the county, will get $500 million in royalties over the next 20 years. That's the estimates. The market conditions can change, et cetera. But we got a $50 million upfront payment, which they've already given to the Airport Authority. And we'll be able to use that money to help lower the cost of the airport, which will help attract more flights. And we've started to see some activity already. Southwest announced they're going to have a direct flight to Nashville, which is very helpful for our corporate community. We'll also be able to continue to build on those 9,000 acres, putting pad-ready sites, putting the infrastructure in, as companies continue to be attracted to that corridor. Number one, you've got the international airport. You've also got access to 376, the Finley Connector, 79. There's great access out there. And now with this CONSOL drilling of the airport, and they're drilling wet gas is really what made it so valuable. That's only 10 miles down the road from the cracker plant.
Where we're proposed shell facility.
The shell facility in Beaver County, right down 376. So the synergy of all that coming together continues to add to the momentum of what's going on here in western Pennsylvania.
Some people, though, will hear, my God, gas drilling on airport property near where planes are flying. Can this be done safely?
Well, it's been done in other places safely. Dallas did it a number of years ago. Denver's in the process of the Denver airport, the Dallas airport. There's a lot of regulations that CONSOL will have to go through. One of those regulatory bodies is the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. They've actually been involved with the RFP that the Airport Authority put out. They've been involved in checking to make sure we're doing it right. And then when CONSOL goes through their permitting with the DEP, the EPA, and now the FAA, all those regulatory agencies will be in place to make sure that it's done safely. One thing about that land out by the airport, it's not residential property. It basically is industrial land, old strip mine. There was old coal mines that were out there and abandoned, and the Airport Authority over the years acquired the land. The county acquired the land for the Airport Authority. So
it's all kind of brownfield to begin with. This is not pristine land out there.
That's exactly right. It is a brownfield site. In fact, there's a lot of acid mine drainage that presently goes into the streams that are out there. So you know, this can be part of maybe cleaning it up and helping to improve it, but it also puts an awful lot of people to work. When you think of $500 million being spent, and CONSOL has committed to buying their steel, United States-made steel for our steel workers and the folks that put our people to work here in Western Pennsylvania.
You mentioned the $500 million over the 20 years. Now, does that all have to be spent on the airport property? How much flexibility do you, the county council, does the airport authority have in what to do with those royalties?
Most of that money will have to be spent out at the airport. There may be some. The county can recapture some money that was put in from the taxpayers that was put into the airport. But the way the FAA has set up the regulations with respect to airports, they don't want any tax dollars from the local community going in to the airport, but they also don't allow any revenues generated on airport land to come out of the airport. And that would include parking revenues, concession revenues at restaurants, gate fees. That they anticipate, they want airports to be self-sufficient. So the monies that are generated, that in essence a lot of federal money has gone into airports, they want that money staying there. So we'll be able to get some of it, but a lot of it, again, will help the business community, help us continue to grow.
You got to have that infrastructure in there and nobody can come in and build new businesses.
You got it. And the other thing is we don't want to have to put taxpayer dollars into the airport. The airport's now 20 years old. There's some deferred maintenance that's going to need to be done. Those revenues from the shale gas will be able to pay for some of those capital improvements, so we won't be sending the bill to the county taxpayer. It'll make us more competitive to be able to attract more flights and hopefully even an airline hub, you know, which we used to have. You know, we are growing better than anybody in the country right now, but the one thing holding us back is flights.
Well, a big first step in what could be the right direction. Rich Fitzgerald, Chief Executive of Allegheny County. Thanks so much.
Bill, thanks for having me.
Next up, taking the pulse of commercial real estate in our region, and it's a strong one. Stay with us.